Firehouse software got you buried in tabs, logins, and paper sign-in sheets. You've got one system for training, another for reporting, something else for alerting, scheduling, inspections. You get the idea. That's why departments across the country are switching to Alpine Software's Red Alert, the tailor-made fire service software that brings everything together in one system with one bill and no more paperwork. Red Alert replaces your pile of platforms with a single, customizable solution that handles training, alerting, inspections, truck checks, percentage reports, award points, ISO prep, OSHA tracking, the list goes on and on. Everything you do your way. No two Red Alert systems are the same. Alpine builds your software around the unique needs of your department. And when it's time to switch, Alpine will convert all your old data with no setup fees at zero risk. Their entire team is based in Rochester, New York, which means no support runaround. You can pick up the phone and speak to somebody who understands the fire service and gets your issues fixed. With over 30 years of trust and an average customer tenure of 19 years, Alpine's mission is to be the last software purchase your department ever makes. It's battle-tested, firefighter approved, and nearest ready. So if you're ready to save time, reduce costs, and finally get control of your operations, visit alpinesoftware.com for a completely free consultation. That's alpinesoftware.com. Red Alert by Alpine Software. Built for the job, backed by firefighters.
But what I wanted to do today was I wanted to kind of just zone out with you and talk different things. But I kind of want to take topics. So I'm gonna throw a couple topics at you. And what I'd like to do is take these topics, but somehow bring it back to what you're doing and what I do.
No problem.
Does that make sense?
Shooting from the hip. I love it.
Well, first one up, IKEA.
The store IKEA?
Are you familiar with IKEA? Do you have an IKEA in Georgia or
Alabama?
Why do I keep thinking you're in Georgia?
Why do I keep thinking we went to Foley together? I'm from Minneapolis originally, Minnesota, Minneapolis.
Have you ever been to an IKEA?
I've driven by it many times. I've never technically been inside an IKEA.
Interesting.
Still haven't. So,
all right. Well, let me give you my take on IKEA.
Okay.
You know, it's like furniture. It's inexpensive. It's like particle board. You put it together type stuff, right?
Yep.
Okay. I go to IKEA at least once a week.
Do they have a food court?
They do, but that's not why I go. I've never eaten in IKEA once. I appreciate the chubby jokes. I think we did get a bag of Swedish meatballs once and brought them home.
You're down 35 pounds, so you should not be offended by that joke.
No, I appreciate you.
Okay.
The reason why I go, and it drives my wife up a wall, she can't understand it. It is my 20 minutes once a week that I get out of the truck. I park right in the loading zone, not loading up anything, but it's right next to the checkout door. I walk in past the checkout registers, and they have a section in IKEA called As Is. And the As Is section is like the land of misfit furniture. It's like discounted furniture that whether it was on display, or it was, a return, or it's dinged up, or dented, or broken, or smashed, or whatever it is. And then they have a whole section, one whole wall that is just pieces of the furniture, right? Because it's all modular, right? You put it together. So they have pieces. And I, once a week, will drive past. I'll pull into the parking garage, park in the loading zone. I run inside, right through the checkout, and it's right there at the checkout. I walk through it. I spend 10 minutes walking through it, looking at the used furniture, the broken pieces, the misfits, and then if there's anything that catches my eye, I grab it and buy it. It's discount, like super discounted, and then I leave. I do that once a week, and I never really understood why I do that for the longest time, but I enjoy it. I have tremendous joy when I do this, and this is the first time I've ever talked about this, and I want to tell you why and what I figured out. I go in the as-is section because it's the damaged goods, and I like to see what I can do with the damaged goods. I am an absolute creative. My brain goes 3,000 miles an hour on how I could do something 100 different ways.
Mm-hmm.
And the IKEA as is allows me to look at a piece of wood or a curtain or a piece of glass or a mirror or a shelf or a bookcase that's only got 3 legs, and I wonder what I can turn it into. And that has become one of my hobbies. And I absolutely enjoy taking something that is not perfect and trying to make it something more than it is. And so I was thinking about this today, knowing I was going to talk to you. I had a couple topics that have been on my mind, and I've been wondering about this whole IKEA thing. And then how my brain truly works is there was like an IKEA powwow going on with like all the different colored shirt people in IKEA one day when I walked in, and I'm watching them, and then I go over and I'm starting to circle them because now I want to know what they're talking about. Like I'm a regular. I want to know. And then I said, you know what you guys should do? And they all look at me, like 6 people in this circle, like didn't solicit anything from me. They knew I was hovering. I was like, you know what you guys should do? I go, what's that? I said, you should do a podcast where you interview people in your as is section. I said, because I have the best conversations ever in the IKEA as is section. And they said, what do you mean? And I said, well, just the other day I was here. And I said, you had a stack of glass partitions that were $3 each. I think retail was like $105 a piece. They were down to $3 each. They had a stack of them.
Yeah.
So I bought 20 of them. I have no idea what I'm going to do with them. The idea was I could make a partition wall out of glass for the studio. I don't know what the fuck I'm going to do with 20 pieces of glass that are tempered glass that I got for nothing. And so, but the woman that was circling them like I was said, she goes, excuse me, what are you going to do with those? And I go, I don't know. I said, what are you thinking? And she goes, well, I just opened a coffee shop in Manhattan, and we need to build a wall between the kitchen and the seating area. And I thought maybe somehow I could incorporate these into being a wall. And I was like, well, I was thinking the same thing. And she said, really? How would you do it? So now we spent 10 minutes talking about it. Very nice woman. And then she invites me to her coffee shop. And, and it's like, it was a very organic conversation. But my point is this. Like, I enjoy those interactions and I enjoy those moments in life because I can check out of my craziness everywhere else. And it's my creative mind and conversation that allows me to escape what's happening in my brain at that moment.
Wow.
Your turn. Be my therapist for a minute. Is this like,
so
first off, judge me on IKEA.
You've ever told this story? That's the first time.
Only my real good friends know about my IKEA. Okay. Now I'm putting out to tens of thousands of people that are going to listen to this.
I have 47 followers. You are now exposed. Okay.
Love it.
This will be on the internet forever. Mm-hmm. When you said you park in the fire lane or the loading area,
loading
area, and you go in, through the exit, past the registers, and you go in. It's the damaged goods area.
Mm-hmm.
I instantly thought,
yeah.
You know what the damaged goods is? That's us.
Yeah.
That's the first responders. Those are a bunch of blue shirts sitting around. First, PD, fire, medics, jailers. You're going in 20 minutes a week and you're hanging out with your friends. It's no different than what we talk about when we retire as firefighters or PD or something. You got to go back to the station. Go once a week, go spend 20 minutes, have a cup of coffee with me. Shoot the shit. Maybe this is your 20 minutes, you said. Because we got a weird sense of humor. Nobody gets you but other blue shirts, right? Blue shirts get blue shirts. You're spending 20 minutes. That's your 20 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Those are your people. And you picked up a few things off the shelf. And you said, I have no idea what I'm going to do with this, but this is still useful. Those are our friends. That's the firehouse. That's the police station. You're subconsciously hanging out. You're going back to the station. Well,
I go there. I recognize that. I love that you came in like this, because this is dynamite, because I recognized I go there when I need 20 minutes.
when you said that was your 20 minutes and your wife thinks you're crazy,
yes,
your wife doesn't understand.
No,
our
not even
wives
close.
get us, but they don't get us.
Correct.
When you walk in there and you go look through that stuff, I can see myself standing there doing the same thing, going, that's still useful. This still has a purpose.
Yes.
This is still good. It's just missing
Yes.
a leg. This right here is fine. He just has a weird sense of humor that's inappropriate at times, like for church. But other than that, he's good.
Yep.
I'm going to take that home with me, and we're going to find something for it to do, a new job, a new task. You're hanging out with your friends.
Isn't that wild?
I love the analogy. I'm going to encourage you right now in front of my 46 followers and your thousands. This needs to be something. I don't know what it is yet.
I want to do a podcast in the as is section at IKEA. I pitched it to them. They thought I was crazy. And I'm like, I'm just going to fucking do it myself.
If they think
I'm just going to come down there on a Saturday with my road mics and just hang out and talk to people.
If they think you're crazy, that means you're on the right track.
I think so.
And then you do it and you're going to get a response. And then people go, maybe he's not crazy. But I understood immediately when you started telling that story. Didn't want to interrupt you, but I'm like, those are our people.
I appreciate you so much right now, and this is exactly what our friendship is. This is what it is.
Yeah.
I could not wait to share this with you today, because I knew exactly you would understand.
It's a great story.
And unpack this for me.
You do that every week?
Easily. I think I was there twice this week. I've had a lot going on, and so luckily, in full transparency, it's 15 minutes from my house, and it's at major intersections of highways, so it's very easy. I can literally, on my way home from somewhere, I can swing in, park in the loading zone, run in and run out, and I'm there often enough that I know when the room is flipped.
You're having
yeah.
You're going through your daily life, which is hectic, as we know, and you're taking 20 minutes going, I got to go have a cup of coffee with the guys.
Yeah, and then on top of that, the other day, I went to a different IKEA, and it didn't hit the same. And if you think about that, that's like going to a different place. Mm-hmm. It's just not yours, and it just doesn't hit the same.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that is how I wanted to open this conversation. So
great story. You need to do more with that. I don't know what it is yet. When it comes to me, I will add to that. But
therapy and lots of counseling, I think, for that one.
No, that's a really cool,
I think people have their thing. I think the way, like, that's mine, and it's weird. But I also think there's more to it when I think about what I can do with things that I can salvage or save from there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm not like a discount shopper, so I don't do it because of the price, like going in and buying 20 of those pieces of glass. Like I have here. Hold on.
So you got 20 of those.
So yesterday, I stopped and got. I saw 3 of these shell. Actually, I think
that's a wood shell. Yeah. Okay.
No, it's like part of a cabinet, like a cabinet door that never got drilled out or whatever, right? And it's $5. $5 for this piece of laminated colored wood.
Yeah.
Got 3 of these yesterday to go on wire shelving over there, so I can put all the chargers in the studio mounted on this, so it's all neat and tidy, and boom, done.
Yeah.
Right? I look at, and I think this is a bigger part of the story, is I like to look at things and think I can do something more with that. And then I think to myself, like, is that the ego and pompous in me that believes I can fix everything that I come across? Unpack that one for me. That I struggle with, because I do think through my ego at times that I can fix anything that comes my way.
Hmm.
And then when I can't, I have a very hard time with it.
You want to hear something weird?
Yes.
My ego tells me exactly the opposite.
Come on. Unpack that for me.
I feel like I'm not doing anything. But yet people reassure me that I am, and I don't believe it. Like well, you got me. Yeah. Like I feel like I'm not fixing anything. I'm just pointing at a lot of things, but nothing's getting done. We're not moving forward. I just feel like we're just here. And I think that's why one of the reasons why I say I don't know what I'm doing, because I really don't. And I don't feel like I'm doing much, but then people will say things and they're like, no, you totally are. And it's like, oh, but yet it doesn't, I don't know.
I think that is the true natural beauty of what you're doing. I think when you do things without even knowing you're doing them, it's natural, it's organic, it's just right. And, being the guy to recognize somebody needs to have a conversation, or being a guy talking about what, that there's options or things available to you that don't have to be over the top and so grandiose. So it's as simple as just saying, hey, you got a minute? Like, I think that is the most beautiful thing, right? For me, I'm always like consciously like, can I fix this? What can I do with this? Oh, look at this broken shelf. Can I fucking make a tray out of it and put it over here? Like like that's my IKEA, thought. But for you, like, it's natural. It's not, your intent is not to fix it. Your intent is to talk about it, to point it out. This is something of interest.
What do you think of it? Once to somebody, and I said, I think someone asked me, how's it going, or is it working? I don't know. And I made a comment, and I said, if people are having a conversation on any level, then I've already won, and I don't really need you to tell me I won. So maybe in a way you're not supposed to know you're not, like, I don't want to get an ego. I don't want to, it's just, I don't know. I just want to be me and be goofy, and it's encouraging people to have conversations, and they're happening. But
how is this your therapy? We talked about that before, right? So like for me, the 20-minute once a week is my therapy, if you will. And what is this for you?
It's helped
how is it your therapy?
It's helped me be more verbal about some of the things we've come up short on in 21 years, and just seeing other guys adding to the stories and having discussions with guys that we've been on scene with, or just talking about some of my fears with people, or, where I feel like I've failed, or, that's all therapy is talking. I mean, the person in the room is really not doing anything but just helping guide you once in a while. You're just in there blabbing for an hour, and then they charge you $350. It's not, but it's just the process of ventilating that room. And I see these young guys coming into firefighting, especially because that's where I'm at. And I see a young me, and I just look at them and I go, manage that smoke a little better, do a better job, be more open, to have conversations, and sitting at the dinner table together, have meals together as a crew, these simple things that we can get away from that, some crews do a really bad job at. We have to do a better job. I want you to be better when you're 48.
I really like what you just said. The one line, manage that smoke a little better.
Yeah. I used the analogy for the new guys. I said, we just had 2 new guys start. And I said, you just came in, we just handed you a glass box, and I'm building a prop now that fills up with smoke. And I said, I just handed you a glass box. Now for 25 years, I want you to manage that smoke in the box. Okay. So not only is it their job to look down and constantly be ventilating and getting rid, managing it, but I said, it's clear for a reason, is because I can walk by and look at you and go, that's a lot of smoke. We need to, it's my job, I told them, to help you manage that just as much as it is yours. And if we start thinking in terms of it's the new guy that just started today is just as much my responsibility as it is his. If we start taking ownership in each other like that, we start thinking about each other like that, where are we going to be in 10, 15, 20 years? A better place. You know, your career is just as much my responsibility.
Which is so cool to hear you say that, because knowing your backstory, are you different now today? Like the CIV, is this holding you more accountable to those two new probies in your firehouse?
It should. And I'm trying to lead by example.
Yeah, I love that.
So when you get on the internet like you do and you go out into the world and you do these things, you're showing people who you want to be, you know, and you're holding yourself accountable by putting out these videos, by saying,
yeah. And I realized lately I've been letting myself down, and I'm letting my guys down because I had an issue, and instead of like sticking to my guns, I kind of just rolled over on it, and it frustrated me to all hell. And it took something the other day to make me realize, like, what am I doing? Like, why am I letting them win? Like, this is, I rolled over and literally gave up a fight instead of, like, years ago, I would have punched you in the eye. You know what I mean? Like, and I thought about that, and I go, man, if I'm going to talk about all this shit, I better follow through on it. That's the accountability for me. That's why I asked you this question, because I know what National Fire Radio has done for me when it comes to accountability, and I still screw up every day. You know, we're all human.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to make errors. There's no doubt. And sometimes they're bigger errors than others. And I truly believe it's what you do. How do you learn from, you know, your mistake? And at the time, I didn't think I was making a mistake. At the time, I thought it was just the right thing. The easier thing for me to do was to fade and to kind of just write these guys off, if you will. And now I'm like, no, I should have fucking put my foot down, you know? And I just didn't. And I think that this is trending in so many firehouses today, where guys are just taking the easier way out because it's just easier. You can only push back for so long before it's so commonplace. You don't think it's worth the fight anymore. But I promise you, I just went through this and I realized, no, man, this is still worth the fight. I can't sit here and talk about this and not follow through and outside of this if I'm going to talk about it.
Yeah, you're holding yourself accountable. I always think about, too, like how sometimes I always joke that I'm trying not to make eye contact with this anymore. You know, one of my jokes. And then
you got jokes. I've heard jokes. You have jokes. They're good.
I'll make a week or two, maybe 3, without making eye contact with it. And then something or someone will happen. And I'll look at my wife and go, son of a bitch. And then it's like, and then you come in and you're home alone on a Friday and you make a video, and then you jump on with the Donch, and then you're in it, and then you throw another video up, or you have another conversation, which leads to someone pulling you aside. Hey man, I saw the latest episode. That's awesome. Hey, you got a minute? Yeah, I do. And then it's like, you know, things happen. Texas is happening right now. I'm constantly there on my mind of like the responders and what they're doing out there, and the civilians, and just the amount. And you just get pulled back into it, and it's like whether or not I think I'm on a right track, or even what track I'm on and what I'm doing, this is what I'm doing. And I don't have any answers for it. I really can't explain it, but it just all comes down to conversation, venting. And I think that if we become easier with that, life will be better.
Does it take 2 to have a conversation? Can you have a conversation with yourself?
Well, yeah.
Right. And because what I'm thinking about as you're talking, I'm trying to put that together in my own head. It's like, what does it take to have a conversation? Well, it takes 2 people, right? One has to be talking, the other one has to be listening, and then the other one talks and the other one listens. Or can you have a conversation with yourself?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think you can have a conversation without saying anything. Because if you show up for me,
that's good.
If I was whatever scenario, and you took 10 minutes out of your day and showed up, or an hour, or you drove 50 miles or 500 or whatever, if you show up for the guys or the girl or if you just show up and you don't really know what you're going to say, you might have spent 500 miles driving to go show up and I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. And you show up. That's a conversation.
It's huge.
You just showed me. And that's what I think that's, let's show up for each other. This isn't hard. It's not that hard.
It's not. It takes work.
It takes a lot of work.
Like you said, there's a week or two that goes by, you don't make the eye contact, right? I have projects at home that I just don't feel like doing, so I don't want to go into the pantry. I don't want to go into my daughter's bedroom because I still have to put up shelves for her that I've been putting off, right? Like, I don't want to, I hope it rains tomorrow. I don't want to cut the grass, like making eye contact, right? And then I love that, man. That's really well said. I appreciate that very much.
This episode's brought to you by Ease Alert Heart Smart Alerting Solutions. Have you ever been jolted awake by a blaring station alarm only to sprint out half asleep, heart pounding? That's that legacy fire station alerting system, and it's doing much more harm than good. So meet Ease Alert, the world's first heart-smart firefighting alerting system. Designed by firefighters, proven by science, their purpose-built alerting devices deliver vibration and visual alerts, shaving seconds off of turnout times while improving health for the first responder. Ease Alert isn't just about comfort, it's about safety. Firefighters are 14 times more likely to die from heart attacks during alarm responses than during non-emergency duties. Ease Alert's Heart Smart system slashes stress, improves performance safety, and allows you to be the best firefighter you can be, on duty and at home. From bunk alerts and wristbands to dispatching consoles, display boards, and firehouse lighting, every component is purpose-built by firefighters for firefighters. No more missed tones, no more startled response, just fast, smooth, safe alerts. Fire departments across the country like Mission, Texas, and St. Augustine, Florida, report calmer crews and faster turnout times. And their chiefs even say that the system is battle-tested and firefighter approved. So are you ready to switch? Visit easealert.com and discover how silent alerting can save time, reduce stress, and improve safety for you, your crew, and your community. Visit easealert.com to learn more and tell them National Fire Radio sent you.
National Fire Radio.